Okay, so I'm recording. There's a handful of people here as I go. If you have questions about something or I'm not making sense or I'm going too fast, stop me, just yell out. I don't mind at all. In no particular order, I was going to talk about first volunteer hours. Oh, first of all, let me back up. The one thing I wanted to say, I was thinking about this as I was driving here, is there are so many different kind of people and things and organizations that are kind of offering their hand to you to pull you forward, to pull you up, and you just kind of need to reach out and grab it. Now, I also want to say that's not to say, so it's all on you. Sometimes you just don't know where those hands are. And so that's what I want to do now is show you kind of where those hands are. First thing I want to mention, volunteer hours. A lot of people have been asking me, oh, Mr. Morris, I don't have the sheet signed and things like that. If you can get one of these sheets, great. These are in the office and in my office. I've got a handful here, not a ton. I can get more. But you can use these. This is what they're supposed to be for, is the volunteer hours. Everything's backwards, like a mirror. But if you can't get one, or maybe you volunteered for a camp director who now lives in Ontario or something, an email is 100% okay. Totally fine. Get them to email me, excuse me, and just say, hey, so-and-so volunteered for me for 30 hours this one day, week, blah, blah, blah. They were great. Even if you weren't great, as long as you put time in, hopefully you weren't terrible or caused damage. An email is fine. The hours required are 55 instead of the 110 because you guys got shorted for Mexico and ICE, for impact and ICE. So it's at 55. Also, we're removing the caps. So it used to be you can only get 20 hours from one place per year. So if you volunteer 2 hours every Sunday at church, that's 104 hours if you don't miss. We would cap it at 20 per year. We're not capping hours. A lot of people get a lot of hours from camp. Just because the way the world is and stuff, we're not capping. So no cap. So know that. Scholarships and awards and stuff. I thought for this, I'm going to share my screen to show you kind of where to go and what to do and what that's all about. So let's start here. If you want to find out kind of where is everything listed and so on and so forth. I used to provide a link to the awards, but when I would provide a link, because quite often we make a couple tweaks and changes throughout the year and then stuff doesn't appear, which is really weird. Or sorry, it appears and it's on the live website, but what the link I provide is kind of frozen in time. So I'm not providing a link. I'm just going to show you guys. You go to the Calvin Christian website, go to campuses, collegiate, awards, bursary, scholarships. Okay, so it's all in the drop down here. Then you click it, and for some reason it's slow. Oh, look, you can get volunteer hour forms here if you like. Anyway, so awards, bursaries, and scholarships. And here they are. I don't know why it's set up like this now. I don't want this sidebar. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now the way this works, generally speaking, and I'll go through it a little bit. Generally speaking, you will apply, like, let's just look at the very first one here. This scholarship goes to the individual working 6 to 8 weeks at a camp the summer immediately following their graduation and then going on to some kind of post-secondary education in the fall. To apply, write a brief essay up to 1 page. We do not need like pages and pages. This isn't a thesis document for your master's. To apply, write a brief essay up to 1 page detailing your camp work and your post-secondary plans. Submit it to Mr. Morris by May 31st. This is the majority of awards you will apply this way. Like, you're giving it to me, but say kind of to whom it may concern. And I do want some quality work done here with respect to kind of how you write. No, don't scratch things out. No spelling and grammar mistakes. Like, you need to kind of show respect to the people who are thinking about giving you money. So this should be really, really clean. It doesn't have to be a work of art, but it needs to be clean. Spelling and grammar at a basic minimum. The person who so generously donates, there's lots of 4L ones here, has my first year, I was new kind of doing this job, and people would send in this rough work and I would send it to him and he would be like, what is this? Send this back. So that was embarrassing for me. It makes me look bad. So now I'll shut the door if anybody sends me garbage, I'll send it back to you. So by May 31st. So it's just something that you write up, typed up, and just give it to me. So this section 1A, these ones are the ones directly affiliated with Calvin. In other words, they will come to me, and then I either pass them on, or we have a kind of a committee here at school to make some decisions. I was going to say something else about this. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is, if you think, well, this, it doesn't apply to me directly, but still maybe, then apply. If you are in doubt, apply. There is all kinds of money that goes unclaimed because people don't apply. And what kills me, sometimes, you know, like there's specific ones, like say for camp. So let's just pretend nobody in this graduating class has anything to do with camp. Fair enough. And then I would tell the people offering these awards, I would say, thank you so much. No one's interested this year. No one applied. And quite often they'll respond, oh, well, is there somebody else we can give this to? You know, like, is there somebody else that needs the money or whatever? Like, they want to help people out. So if you're not sure, apply. There was a kid a few years ago, Tristan, who took me to heart. He applied for every single one. Some he had absolutely nothing to do with. I don't remember right now, but like somewhere there's music scholarships and stuff like that. He applied for those. So he didn't get the ones that had like nothing to do with, but he got almost every other one. Why? Because he was the only one that applied. All right, so apply. Blah, blah. Let me just kind of scroll through this a little bit. And there's lots of kind of different ones. There are a handful that are different. I'll just kind of find them. See, I'm just scanning. These are all May 31st, May 31st, May 31st. To Mr. Morris, May 31st. Okay, section 1B, look at this. It says, this section is for awards that are applied for outside of school. There are going to be separate application forms that come to us at different times. This, it says right here, is most likely not an exhaustive list. Every once in a while, something new kind of comes into my mailbox, either physically or digitally. So for example, there's one that just came. I think I posted it on Classroom. Yeah, so I have it here in my bin from Casera Credit Union. It says this, the school generally gets the application forms in the spring. We got them now, which is early, and it must be because of COVID, and they just want to make sure that, you know, stuff happens. I'll pass on the information as soon as I get it. I pass this stuff on to Classroom. Okay, so if you aren't checking Classroom, so tell me how many people? If you aren't 32 students, so there's probably 2 people that aren't part of this yet. I post everything I get in the mail. I post it here. Sometimes this might feel spammy. I apologize. Oh, here, look, there's the Casera ones right here. Here's the application right here. I have hard copies if you want, but I'm pretty sure you know how to use a printer. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. Sorry. So anyway, so this is one example where it just comes to school. We pass it when we get it. The Legion is like that as well. They're very kind of old school. They'll do nothing online or anything. I rode my bike to someone's house last year to drop off the applications. And there's going to be more. It's not just these. It's when I get in the mail, I pass on to you through Google Classroom, because we can't meet everybody in person. So it's all through Google Classroom. This one here is for awards that are not applied for, but students are selected for various reasons. So this is all information. Now, when I say selected for various reasons, it's important that we know what you're doing. And that doesn't mean that you have to kind of send me an email, Mr. Morris, I'm thinking of this or that. Somewhere probably in May, you will all get a form to fill out that will basically tell me kind of how you want your name read at grad, you know, that kind of across the stage to get your diploma. Some people will use a name that I've never heard before. Some people want their middle name used. Some people want the full name used. Some people kind of go by a nickname. They want that used. Totally fine. So that's part of the reason for that sheet. You will also put in there what your plans are. Some of you, it's like take a year off and then see what, you know, life holds, and that's totally cool. Some of you will say, I'm going into engineering, I'm going to general arts, I'm getting a music degree, going to Bible school, whatever. These awards, some of these will be based on that information. Like for example, like the Vicar Community Chevrolet Scholarship, Y Dowling, these ones, like this one here is business, this one's for a trade. If we don't know that you're going for this, we can't put your name forward. There's the Dave Taylor Award. I don't know where that is, but anyways, like that one is for teaching. So if you're going into teaching, then we can apply you for that award, submit you for that award. Apply you. Section 2, this stuff has nothing to do with Calvin. These are just, I add to this when I get a link somewhere saying, oh, this is, I'll get some links saying we have this website that now has all these scholarship awards and stuff. I don't know how these ones work, so you're kind of on your own for these. The only other thing I want to mention about awards and scholarships is whatever institution you're going to, well, 2 things about that. They want you there. They want you to be at their school. You call them, they will help. If you need help kind of finding their information, their contact info or whatever, let me know. And also every school will have like a bursaries and awards page and stuff like that. You know, let me go back and I'll show you. So let's say, for example, let's say U of W, U of W. So I'm just doing a general search. Let me first see here, academic programs, graduates, international, student, faculty, student. No, that's not gonna help. So let's look at the, admissions. Look at this, awards and financial aid. It's right there, right away. And then you've got all kinds of stuff on the side and stuff here. So you just have to kind of go. And if you're not sure, there's always people to call to give you help. While I'm still screen sharing, I just want to show you like an example of an email I get. So I got this from Red River. I got this a couple days ago. I didn't post it yet because I just want to show you the stuff that I get. So it says like, good morning, save the date, blah, blah, blah. I've got a poster on my office door about open house, February 17th, 4 to 8. So I'll probably just kind of do a copy this and paste it. These links probably won't transfer onto Classroom, but if you need them, let me know. I am more than happy to help you. That is my job. All right. I think that's kind of what I wanted to say about scholarships and things like that. Any questions from my handful of live attenders?
Nope.
All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention is some people have said, well, how do I choose courses? Like I got my provisional acceptance and things like that. By the way, so provisional acceptance, in case you're wondering what that means. You've applied, U of M, U of W, whatever, and they say, yes, you provisionally accepted. What that means is you have to apply, you've self-reported your grades. You said, so for example, whatever class, okay, you're in grade 12, I don't even know what you guys are taking right now. Maybe bio, let's just say bio. So you have no idea what your mark is right now in bio because you just started the class. But you could say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get 85, pretty sure I'm gonna get 95. So that's you self-reporting your grades. Now, provided your grades are pretty close to that, then you're in. That's what that kind of provisional acceptance is. And so if you're worried about like, well, okay, now what do I do? How do I pick my courses? What happens is I generally get an email from U of M and U of W, sometimes CMU, sometimes Prov, U of M and U of W for sure though, because that's where the majority of our students go. And they will say, here's a list of the kids that have been accepted. Can we set up a meeting? And so then what we'll do this year, it'll be Zoom. And what we'll do is we'll set up a meeting. They're gonna have somebody from the university come and say, okay, you've been accepted, congratulations. This is what you need to know. And they will show you how to log in. They will show you how to choose your courses, when that's going to happen, because you can't do that yet. All the ways that you need to accept your, when they say, hey, you know, like, congratulations, because you might apply U of M, U of W, Prov, CMU, and you're accepted to all of them. You don't need to talk to the ones, that sounds harsh, you can ghost them a little bit. You don't need to say thanks, but no thanks. But the place that you want to go, you need to let them know, yes, I'm coming. So there's something in there. And then after that, they'll send you the information, how to register and all that other stuff. And then the advisor who's going to have the meeting will show you how to do it. They walk you through it. There are no dumb questions. They'll talk about, well, is this graduate? Is this undergraduate? What's the difference between a bachelor's and a master's? What's the difference between 4 years, 3 years? They go through all that. I can answer most of those questions, but they'll be able to give you the more kind of specific info that really matters for you. One thing I wanted to say, if you haven't applied yet, like get on it, provided you're wanting to go. If you're not sure about whether or not you want to go, you should still apply, because if you decide at the end of summer, it's like, man, I think I'm going to go to university, it's too late. you know, to apply. Some places to apply is free. I think the most it costs around here is $100. So you apply, you get in, you don't get accepted, you're only out $100. Not the end of the world, but that's up to you. You have to weigh the pros and cons of that. What I do want to say is on your application, if you haven't done this, use a personal email. Don't use your school one, because you may not have access to your school one in the summer. And then they're emailing you info and you're not getting it. So if you have used your school one, go back in there and change it to a personal email. That is the kind of giving you information like from drinking from a fire hose here, but that is the kind of stuff that I wanted to share with you. I know I'm talking fast because I didn't want this to be boring and go for 6 hours. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that text that I just got from Mr. Pinto. It's kind of funny. Anyways, that's the important stuff that I wanted to mention, and how the awards and everything goes, because people have been asking, well, how do I know, and this and that. You have time, but also don't leave it to the last minute. And also, for what it's worth, for a lot of those awards, you can use kind of the same basic template, you know, to whom it may concern. I'm very interested in blank award. I feel like I deserve this because of this. You can copy and paste for a lot of it. You don't have to recreate the wheel every single time. So, but there should be specifics in there so it doesn't sound like a form letter. Oh my goodness, you guys. Anyways, thoughts, questions?
I had a question for a second.
Yep, go for it.
So when you're like applying and then you're selecting your grade 12 courses, like I've kind of already asked you a similar question,
Okay.
but do you say you're in like World Religions 40S or no, since our class is like a little different than that?
Yeah, you can use the World Religions 40S.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been
told. Okay, and
just to make sure, go ahead.
If like you are accepted and everything, and like, yeah, you said we're gonna have like a meeting with someone, when would that be ish?
It like what time of the year? It's usually for March, April. It's usually, I think, in April, because they'll need time to kind of, once they get all the information and separate like the people that were accepted from Dakota Collegiate. These people are accepted from Glenlaw. These people are accepted from Calvin. Put those together, send me the info, and then they're very flexible. They'll work with whatever time we have. They would come during lunch, so which they had kind of 45 minutes or whatever. It'll probably be on a Friday. That would be easiest, I imagine. And I'll check in with it's usually, I don't know, 5 or 7 people from each specific school. I'll check in with those. We'll find a time. And then I'll let the university know, and they'll be like, okay, you tell us when and where, and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
And do we have, it won't be like tomorrow at 1 or something like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Do we have to like contact them before that saying that we're going there, or
they know because you've applied? If you've applied and been accepted, then they know. So
then we'll get a meeting, right? Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah, they'll say to me, these 5 or 6 or whatever people have been accepted, set up a meeting. And so I'll say, okay, Micah, Emma, Karina, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. That's all my questions.
I am going to just double check on that World Religions because I have a pinch of doubt in my head. So I want to make sure that's gone. So I'll check and I'll post that in Classroom. Anybody else? The other 2 people that are here? If not, that's totally cool. All right. Well, I'm posting this to YouTube. So if there's something here that you forgot, you want to double check, you can have a look, and also contact me. I'm happy to email, conversate, or Zoom or whatever whatever I can do that helps. So thanks for showing up, those of you that did, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good long weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Yeah. Bye.